Bangwana kumama papa kumama papa Kisi yesonye kumama papa kumama papa Listen, I don't know how to sing, but I know the words and I can get in tune, and that's all that matters. So don't come at me. Anyway, this is not a music channel, whatever. So cut. That's just giving you a glimpse of, to start your day or to end your day. So without further ado, let us get right straight into the crack of the video. Wait, how do we get right straight into the crack of the video when you don't know why you're here and who are you talking to? But you're already here. Anyway, welcome to the channel. This channel is called Perspective of Balasa, and as you could possibly guess, this is Balasa, the host of the house. Right, so this channel is all about perspectives, about opinions, about how we view things that happen around us and our take on that, and how we could possibly, obviously, optimize and maintain wellness if there is, and maybe recommend or come up with solutions. We're not even experts, but anyway. So in this particular video, I am going to be telling you a story. I know you've missed those story time. So here is one. You've obviously seen by the title of the video what we will be talking about. Ooh, actually, in hindsight, we're looking back at this. I'm like, hi. Anyway, we were kids, guys, so please. So this happened about 5 years ago. I'm not really quite sure, but I was near my matric year. So what happened was we were writing exams. I don't know if it was June examinations or November examinations. I don't quite remember. So on this particular day, we were writing this particular subject. I can't disclose everything, guys, but I'm just gonna try to get you into the story and you understand. So this particular subject, and it's one of my favorite subjects. The teacher loves me. I'm a participating child. I've always excelled in the subject. Listen, we're going good. And the other person actually is very quite good with the subject as well. So I don't really get what the problem was. So we used to be like study buddies, not really study buddies, but like at the morning of that exam, some people are like, I don't even want to hear anything about the subject in the morning of the exams. I just want to get in and write because I'm going to forget everything. Well, I'm not that student. I'm the student that at the back of maybe the class or whatever, 5 minutes before I'm here, I'm reading my notes. And the slightest chance would be immediately when I get into the exam room, I'm gonna see a question and I've just read the answer. So I'm like, so actually, it was good for me to read before getting into the exam room. It works for me, won't work for everybody, that's okay. But if you are like me, please do comment down below. And if you're not, please tell me why you don't really want to read your notes before getting into the exam room. Is it anxiety? Are you going to be stressed that you actually haven't covered certain topics to the extent that you'd like to cover them and understand them better? I don't know. But I read before an exam. That is guaranteed. So that's what happened on this particular day. So we are more like the same. So we read and discuss questions that could come out of the paper. Some people might get irritated. Then just move away from us, please. Relax. Anyway. Guys, so I'm actually laughing because so many people will look at this, what I just did, and be like, yo, violence. I don't really choose balance. I just pop in those things. Just a disclaimer that because siyabazi abantu uqala gibela intaba. Anyway, so that's what happened that morning. We were reading. So it's a subject where you have the theory parts, one with questions or maybe paragraph questions, and then there's an essay part at the end, right? Hi. So we're discussing the essay because this particular teacher likes repeating questions from previous year's papers. So we reread maybe about like 3 to 4 papers, previous papers, and we possibly discussing why he would include this part, this essay, and not that one, and whatever, whatever. So we do that. We discuss. Fine. Listen, and we agree on one essay that this one will surely come out. Okay, cool. We read it, we discuss the points, and they used to like tell us to write in points, um, unlike in paragraphs where you do in your normal essays. Please do pardon me. So that happened. We wrote, we read, we studied, we memorized, we did everything we could. Exam. Okay, cool. And then he starts by saying, let's sit next to each other. I'm like, thinking, why? I don't like your tricks. But I'm like, okay, cool. Because we used to sitting each other in exams. We just give each other this glimpse and like, the question is here. And then we write. I'm not sure if that's allowed. Don't do that, children. Don't do that. So we write. We write the exam. So I start with the essay because immediately I just want to know, because we've been discussing it. Go to the back of the paper. It's the exact essay we thought would come out. Did I not get happy? The overjoy, the excitement. I mean, you've just received everything you've anticipated in the paper. Obviously, you want to try and do your best. Obviously, you need to be calm yourself, or else you're going to get overexcited and actually don't do anything. And then you'd get too miserable. So I write the essay first and finish it off and put it on the side. Now I'm on to one with answers, right? Cool. So during the exam, and another teacher of another subject is invigilating us, one of my other favorite subject, where the teacher is very much, we have like a very motherly relationship with her. Okay, we write. In the middle of the paper, he like calls me, but obviously whispering, Palisa. I'm like, I'm not hearing anything. I'm focusing on my paper. I write. He calls me for the second time. The third time he pokes me. I'm like, and then I turn to look at him like, and then I'm busy writing. And it's like the essay. And I just look at him. My eyes say, what about the essay? It's the essay we anticipated. So you should write. You should be happy. What about it? And it's like, I forgot. Please show me the essay. I'm like, I will show you the essay. But me being me, sometimes selfishness is really important. I didn't do that. I considered him. And the fact that we've been going through so much and studied so much together and now he forgot. Let me just remind him, maybe a few sentences would do and he'd remember the whole thing. So my aim was I'm also responsible, definitely. So I moved my paper uh, to the side closest to him. And then I keep on writing because obviously you need to cover up, before the invigilator sees that there's something going on here. Well, actually, that is very common in our class. We are very toxic in that class. Anyway, so we write, we write, we write. Actually, every class does that. Don't lie. You've done it. Don't lie. So we write. Instead, brothers takes the whole thing, takes my paper. One, I have quite a broad handwriting. It's not really big, but it's visible. You could see it even if you were on the desk behind me. So I always have that problem where I need to hand my papers one out, because somebody could see from a distance what I wrote. Okay, cool. He takes the paper, the whole paper, and I'm just looking at him like, The hell? Why did you just do that? I was just trying to show you could see from here because my handwriting is quite big. I'm just trying to make you remember a few sentences and probably you could remember the whole thing. But no, you decided to take the whole paper. Hell no, child. And now I couldn't say anything. I'm like, he stole my paper. I couldn't say that. Because they'd be like, how did he get your paper? You see? And there were cameras in my school. Anyway, so you continue writing, and now the invigilator is coming towards us this side. I'm like, yo, child, move. So I'm trying to signal to him, like, hide the paper. The invigilator is coming. So the invigilator comes, and when he approaches him, it was too late. He couldn't hide it anymore. He tried to fill all the papers, but then obviously that says there's got something going on there. So the invigilator goes to check his work. He checks like this paper, this handwriting, and what you're writing don't mix. What's happening? And you could clearly see he's like, no, I'm writing onto another paper because I made a mistake. There's a point I've left. And I'm like, that is the most stupid explanation I could ever think of. Like, yo, yes, the handwritings are different. I'm like, okay. So the teacher doesn't buy it. Instead, the teacher, you know what the teacher does? He calls um, the educator that actually taught us the subject. He called him, and he later, that teacher comes. He scratches off his paper in red, and I think, what do they write in top? Not copied, but I don't know what they write. And then he continued writing the paper. I continued writing. So now I'm flipping scared. You know what I did? I wrote another essay. So now the teacher goes around us and checks whose handwriting is this. I can't hide the handwriting, guys. You can't hide it. So he checks all of us. And then when she gets to my paper, looks at it for a while, and then goes back to his paper, that paper. And like, didn't say anything. He moved. And I'm like, I'm not sure if he noticed, but I think he did. It was actually a she, sorry. I think she did. After the exam, it was Friday, I remember. That weekend, I didn't have the best weekend. I could have had better, but because the exam was really nice. I should have enjoyed and celebrated my success, but there was that thing that kept eating me inside. What a predicament. Oh, okay. So I heard he's called to the office that Friday after the exam. And I'm like, hey, bro, just tell the truth. There's nothing we can do now. We'll deal with the consequences, whatever it is. I'm willing to take responsibility. It's like, no, I can get you in trouble. I took the paper. I poked you. I asked you the questions. I'm like, I am as much responsible as you are because I actually consider the idea of having to copy you, having to allow you to copy my paper. He's like, no, I'm not gonna say that, whatever. So now he's dragging the case. Now they have to look for the person and all that. I'm like, just say it and we deal with it and it passes, you know? But no, he didn't. So then Monday, I'm like, so it dragged and dragged and dragged and called the parents of the guy's parents. My school was quite dramatic. But anyway. So Monday comes. I'm like, bro, otherwise I'm gonna get into that office and tell them it's my paper. And the teacher literally saw that it's my paper. So why is my name not coming out? I'm already waiting for them to call me from class. Nothing. So he eventually tells the truth that it's my paper. So now we go to the office. Actually, we didn't go to. Well, we did go to the office, but they were like, please come with your parents. Yeah, come with what? Your parents. Okay. I think we went with my parents on Saturday. I remember there were no school kids, so it couldn't be during the week. Fine. I think it was the following day. I went there with my parents. My dad was not around, so I went there with my mom and my aunt. And my aunt be my aunt. Guys, whoever knows my aunt, yo, they'll tell you. That lady, tough one. I'll probably take from her, but yeah. So we get there. So whole story, they explained what happened, and I told the honest truth what happened. And like the guy poked me. So instead, they gave him a written warning, and they gave me a verbal warning. And they're like, actually, because you're so close to matric, and no schools accept children closer to matric, if we had it any other way, we'd expel you from the school. I'm like, chill, just one incident. Even though you wouldn't even be able to do that, because I will take you to court. Imagine taking someone to court when you are the wrong one. But okay, that was extreme. We knew they were lying. They were just trying to scare us off. But anyway, so now the guy's parent starts crying. And now it's awkward. Me and my mom look at each other. I'm like, okay, what's going on, bro? So now the guy and his mom and his parents are crying. We're like, okay, now it's awkward vibes. I don't have tears. I'm not emotional, none whatsoever. I'm just like, let's get through this and get done with it. So they cry, they explain. So the mother's like, this person studied the whole night, the day before, the night before. He didn't even sleep. He had to buy energy drinks. He studied. He knows the stuff. He's been excelling in the subject. What happened? Why would he do this? You know? So I get it, but it was quite emotional in the room, in the office. Okay, that passed. Cool. I'm not gonna say my mom didn't reprimand me, right? But she didn't make much of a big deal about it. However, she did like obviously talk as a parent and advise you to do better and all of that. And actually had a talk as well with the teacher. The subject teacher came into the office. They're like, who do you think copied each other here? And it's like the essay is very clear. This person Palace's essay is very clear, so she knew what she was writing. However, it's obvious who copied from who, because already Palace wrote her essay and finished. So this other person just literally forgot. And I don't know what's the problem because they both do so well in my class. Okay, cool, that passed. They had to explain to us, whatever. And then after that, I had a chat with my most favorite high school teacher. I'll forever cherish that mother. I'll forever cherish that lady. Um, I am where I am because of part of her influence. I love her to bits. So we had a motherly relationship. So she sat me down, we talked, and told me actually about the act of selflessness and being selfish, right? Like there is a line to draw. Sometimes, yes, you might feel sympathetic and empathetic towards the person and think that you study together and all of that. But however, think about yourself, think about the consequences before you do things and whatever. Give me that chat and priorities and selfishness. The most thing I took away is being selfish is okay in some instances. Yes, it's mostly attached to the norms and the perception that it's really bad on one or not. However, sometimes you just need to be selfish. Get away. You get me? So that happened. So that's the story of when I almost got expelled in school. Looking back at it, it's actually really, really funny. At that time, it wasn't funny, it was serious. And my aunt was like, and then you've always passed, you've always been a great student. What the hell is this? I'm like, and my mom was just choked. I'm like, surely that's why she wanted to come because she knows the nature that my mom has. My mom is very calm when she wants to. However, yeah, that happened. I don't feel embarrassed about it, guys. I don't feel embarrassed at all. It's a really funny story to tell. And it happened with a mistake with children. I'm just not trying to justify that. It's a wrong act. Children, please don't do it. Don't copy from each other in class. Okay? Especially not on an exam. But you know the fun parts where the whole class copied from each other. Like, question 3.2. And then somebody says, and then we all write. And sometimes you'd know that whatever they say is wrong and you know the right answer and you'd not tell it. Because why? Some people were just being parasites. They were just sucking from other people. Every time they ask questions, they look at the same people. I was like, I'm not answering. Never, sis. But anyway, that is it, guys. So, moral of the story: I almost got expelled, but didn't due to having a grade that's really, due to being in a grade that's really close to my matric. Yeah. So not many schools could accept us. Imagine applying for another school. They're like, why did you get kicked out of the school? Because you copied. Yeah. Don't even try it in university level. Don't even try it, because in the moment you look at somebody else, the invigilators are already on you. And there are so many cameras, there's so many security tight. Don't attempt it. Don't attempt it. Can you spare 5 years without being in school? Mm-mm. So please. Um, I love you guys. Thank you for coming to my story time. Until another story time. Bye.